Take you to another story that's playing out in Bloemfontein at the Supreme Court of Appeal, where AfriForum has gone to court today fighting an equality court ruling that basically banned the gratuitous display of the old apartheid flag. The organization is arguing that banning the display of that flag would basically trample on people's rights as far as expression. We can speak now to the attorney for the Nelson Mandela Foundation, Rupert Candy. We're speaking to Rupert because in the previous matter before the Equality Court, it was the foundation that took the issue to do with the flag to court. Rupert, grateful for your time. I know that proceedings there have adjourned for now. Let's begin with what the foundation believes would be the implications for the country if AfriForum were to win this appeal.
Well, thank you, Tim, again, for having me. I do not think that the court, the Supreme Court of Appeal, will overturn this particular decision. I don't think there's any chance whatsoever, and that's mainly because of the ruling of the John Kwelani case, which was a case that was unanimously decided by the Constitutional Court last year, a unanimous judgment by Justice Stephen Majid, which, amongst other things, specifically endorsed the reasoning of Justice Mojapelo in the Equality Court in this particular matter. I don't think that this matter will be overturned by the court, and I think that the order of Justice Mojapelo will stand. Whether or not AfriForum decides to take the matter to the Constitutional Court, who knows? They probably will, because we've seen in the past that when it comes to these sorts of cases around the right to equality in the Constitution, Section 9, AfriForum, as well as its sister organization, Solidarity, have quite the appetite when it comes to litigation around the right to equality from the High Court right up into the Constitutional Court, despite the fact that most of these issues that they want to litigate is quite settled constitutional law.
So is it the view of the Nelson Mandela Foundation that anyone who chooses to display that apartheid flag is doing so precisely because they are racist or perhaps have racist nostalgia from the country's oppressive past?
Oh, absolutely. That is what we have argued from the outset, and it was confirmed by Justice Mojapelo. There's a dominant meaning for the flag, and the dominant meaning is the celebration of white supremacy and black subjugation. Remember that the Mandela Foundation is not arguing for the old flag to be completely banned. There are certain instances in terms of Section 12 of the Equality Act, which is the exclusions clause, where the display of that flag would be okay, and that would be for the purposes of artistic creativity, for journalistic purposes, documentaries, and for that to be kept in a museum, for example. But definitely, if there's a gratuitous display, as we saw on Black Monday in October 2017, then that there's no other redeeming value that flag has besides the celebration of the old order as against the constitutional dispensation that we have now, which seeks to promote nation building and national unity and reconciliation.
AfriForum in its argument has said that it doesn't have a particular love for the old apartheid flag. What it's trying to protect is a blanket ban on freedom of expression and perhaps in some cases a teaching moment.
Well, no, we disagree with that. And in fact, during this morning's arguments, some of the justices took issue with AfriForum's counsel on that score. Freedom of expression, remember, and this is something that AfriForum seems to support, and that is the American style of freedom of expression, where you can just say whatever you want to say and get away with it. However, in as much as freedom of expression is supported in South Africa under the Constitution, we have major case law which has supported the right to freedom of expression. We have a vibrant civil society whose job it is to keep constitutional democracy in check, such as the Freedom of Expression Institute, by the way. The right to freedom of expression is not elevated to the right to human dignity, and that is mainly because of the history that we have in South Africa, which is a painful one.
How easy is it to implement such a ban, I wonder, because if it is displayed at a march where there's media coverage, it's quite easy to find, but how do you monitor then the gratuitous display of an apartheid symbol in a country with so many people where they may be gathering for whatever reason?
Well, I suppose it would be done on a case-by-case basis, and one of the things that we've been arguing here is that AfriForum has also been seeking to say that the Equality Court went a step too far by saying that in private displays of the flag, should not be outlawed or banned. And I think that's also problematic, and some of the justices also took issue with them on that, that there is an asymmetry of power in a private setting. So, for example, if you have a domestic worker working in a house or school or at a farm in an outlying area, raising young children, even though that may be a private setting, you have people from outside in the public coming to work for them, and that may in fact also create some form of discrimination and hatred. So it would be done on a case-by-case basis, and what the Equality Court does do is that, and that particular order which Justice Mojapelo gave, it gives people the right to now take this judgment and go to court and say, here's this judgment, it's now been confirmed and specifically endorsed by a unanimous constitutional court in John Kwelani's case, which says that this kind of thing is not sustainable and you can't countenance in a constitutional democracy. So anybody who is aggrieved by that display in future may be able to take it, even may not necessarily by spending funds, out of their own pocket, because we know access to justice in South Africa is quite difficult for most people to access. Mm-hmm. Would always go through, through a civil society organization who could bring, an action or an application on your behalf in order to vindicate your rights.
I know these court processes take time by their nature. Are we any clearer, Rupert, on when this appeal before the SCA, when we're likely to get a judgment?
Well, the SCA has shown over the years that they are quite jacked up when it comes to delivering judgments timelessly. So I think, Timigile, we'll probably see a judgment in the coming months.
Rupert Candy, good to have your time, sir. Thank you very much.